Yeah.
Shortly.
Could be something really easy, like, Eastern Skullwoods and Thieves, and they get all their items and they're done in half an hour.
Or it could be Oops All Dungeons.
Yeah. Yeah, there could be something in Ganon's Tower that's required for one of the pet dungeons, like if...
Yeah.
Let's hope Turtle Rock isn't, for example, a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, it does have the propensity to be somewhat higher variation in length.
Absolutely, and all 4 of our runners have started in Link's house today, where they found bombs. And speaking of Eastern, that is going to be our vanilla green pendant today.
And it appeared like we had crystals in the other 2 that were not red.
But at least one of the 3 pendants is going to be relatively easy. The runners just need to find a bow at some point. And speaking of the runners, we have for us today Lumaga, Dazed Cloud, Mind Diem, and Jossum Sauce being featured from a pool of 13 runners.
So our uncle didn't give us a boots hint, he just gave us boots flat out. That's always nice.
I mean, hoping for a fast seed, right? It's fast in at least one way.
Nothing so good in Saha's closet. All the runners syncing up again. Love when this happens.
But yeah, they've got boots and they've got bombs, so they are off to a good start here for going to the CAC area.
And half the bottle vendor funds as well, so that's always good as well. Not something you want to revisit CAC for, no. Cash poor seed.
Now, Jossum Sauce seems not to have gone to Uncle. He does not have his boots. He's not going to be able to check Bonk Rocks, not that there's anything super important there.
Big old 20. Speaking of big old 20s, there's one in the mushroom spot today.
But yeah, this could come back to haunt Jossum Sauce if everyone else has the boots and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Lamp in the Forest Thief. Okay. Rip Dark Rooms.
Yeah, another thing to speed up the seed.
Oh no!
Wow.
We're off to see the wizard. Lay this Tom right here.
I guess that's why we got the lamp so early. Seems like we're gonna be seeing a sword before too long.
Yeah, we'll need one for the curtain to face that Aga one, even if Cape is our access in.
I cannot remember the last time I saw the Moon Pearl on Lumberjack.
Ooh, armor, nice. More bombs and thief hideout. Big 20 and utility. Oh, and a tree hundo in the back. There goes cash worries.
So we can very easily pay off the bottle vendor, and we're much of the way to Zora money, too.
Ooh, roll this seed. Always wonder that when you see a nasty Bloom Pearl like that. Bottle vendor giving a half refund. Nothing's promising in the wells so far. We'll see the last 3 here. Never mind, there's a bow and a sword!
So, Eastern Palace is fully in logic now.
Yep, there's your Easter starter pack.
We will need to find either a second sword or a cape in order to get that Aga access to get to that Moon Pearl.
Who knows how late that's going to be, though.
And Bottle Vendor's giving us a 50% rebate. Or a 50% ripoff, depending how you look at it.
Could be worse. Could always be worse.
Could be 1% rebate, 99% ripoff.
Could be the single arrow. One thing we're glad has not been seen yet.
But yeah, so now the interesting question is, do you even bother doing south side next, or do you go straight to the eastern area when you finish with CAC?
I would do a South Shore personally, because I'm one of those people that if I skip something, it is going to bite me so hard in the posterior. So I'm one of those people that even goes and checks Agahnim even though it's a little out of the way, because you never know, there could be something valuable in that out of the way location.
Yeah, it's just always risking that extra time, and it looks like Jossum Sauce is just going for the eastern area. So is Lumaga, so is Dazed Cloud. They are just saying, I can do eastern. Lumaga just takes a detour to check Lake Hylia Island, which is a big 20. So
the runners that haven't been over here to Saha, they're going to check that on the way. Forget who it was that came by here already. I think it was Jossum.
Well, that's also an interesting thing. Jossum Sauce is figuring, I'm going to walk out of Eastern with the green pendant anyway, which I'll turn in at Sahasrala. So he's waiting until then, and the only thing in the closet is Bombos anyway.
Very, very atypical seeds so far. Then again, what is a typical seed nowadays?
Ah, there you go. Mind DM is a man of your strategy, doing the South Shore anyway, not wanting to leave any stone unturned.
Yeah, the only time I would put this off is if I were hoping, say, a convenient Moon Pearl and Mirror was readily available, then I'd do a dark and light overworld combo kind of thing. But that Moon Pearl where it is, that ain't happening today for sure.
Though speaking of, that means the runners will also have to remember once they get the mirror that saving and quitting in the Dark World will respawn them on the pyramid.
As a nice, useless bunny. Three runners doing the Eastern Clear, and one in what I like to call the new Hype Cave mini mode.
And so far we have not seen... Oh, there's our cave. Wow.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
You weren't kidding about the new Hype Cave.
And that powder can actually be turned straight in with that hammer.
Yeah.
So we've got Aga access and thus Dark World access for Mindeem already. So how about I meet you halfway now that we know this and say Eastern or South Shore would have both been the good pick today.
Yeah, I think those runners are going to wind up doing South Shore after they finish Eastern, but it's a required pendant anyway, so it's not like they're losing time in Eastern.
Hook. Great googly moogly, this seed is early loaded.
Yeah, I mean, it's throwing everything at us. The funny thing is, of course, one of those items is locked behind Aga.
Yep. Well, hey, at least it threw us the knowledge early on. So Jossum in a very small Eastern lead. As my fire on two.
And that is logically locked behind the flippers, though all of these runners, I'm sure, know how to do a water walk, which we just saw Mind DM demonstrate.
Even this scrub can do a water walk, and I am not one who can do many a glitch. Jossum's about to face down an Armos, getting a few arrows to do so.
But yeah, with Hammer plus Hookshot, once they beat Agahnim, they will have all of Lower Dark World available to them.
That's right, because you could hook across the river, or you could take care of the hammer pegs and go the south route.
Now, Jossum Sauce is the first runner done with Eastern, but remember that's because he skipped Uncle, and if he doesn't go there, eventually the other runners are just gonna catch up because they move around faster with the boots.
Actually, I forget something about the Dark World routing up towards that cross the river point. Do you need a lift to clear that as well?
No, you need a lift or the flippers or the hammer.
We have not seen the lift yet. That's going to impede the runners a little bit.
And Saha gave us a heart transplant as a reward for fetching that green pendant.
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
And yeah, speaking of fetch quest turn-ins, that bottle from Mini Moldorm makes Sick Kid now be in play.
Can definitely route that and the powder together over there for minding. Efficiency there.
Okay, Jossum Sauce finally collects his boots. I can't believe I'm saying finally and we're not even 12 minutes in.
That happens. Ooh, I wonder if there's something down like Zelda's cell or something.
I imagine they're gonna check out the castle. Oh, Jossum Sauce is doing that right now while he's there, rather than
Good call.
waiting.
Death warp from Zelda's cell back to the entrance and route an Aga right afterward, maybe?
He doesn't have the cape yet. I mean,
Took
maybe
the
he'll
words
find
right
the
out of my
Master
mouth.
Sword.
Yeah, if there's a Master Sword down here, that's a moot point.
But as far as we know, there isn't a second sword in the Light World, and the runners are going to have to get that cape to get their Aga access, which Dazed Cloud just did, and Lumag is about to do.
Every now and then, you get one of these seeds that just throws you so much early on, you start to feel overwhelmed with options. It's not quite clear which is the best way to go. Well, in this case, they're all the best way to go.
Well, we haven't found anything in the front of Escape yet.
We did find a Hyrule Castle key, though.
Well, Mind DM has to watch out. Okay, he gets his hook shot at least. But he is down to half a heart.
Yeah, Joseph gets a sword from Zelda's. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
I guess he is just gonna death warp and do Aga like you were suggesting.
Wow. I mean, I don't often call a seed, but when I do...
He's going to check Dark Cross, and actually, having found the extra key in the front, he has logical access to the 3 items in the back of Escape as well, even though we haven't found that lift upgrade yet.
Since I'm on a roll, let's say there's a bug net back here. Just gonna throw it out there and see if it sticks to the wall. Meanwhile, Lumaga's on the way to that Master Sword. Dazed Cloud going for the Agahnim check. His Mind DM takes out Samarmos.
And first he's going to see if there's anything we need to worry about on Desert Ledge. No. Oh, yeah. Whoa! Well, that's our logical fire rod access for when the time comes.
Rude. I mean, who puts flippers in the sand?
Yeah, I mean,
And,
it would make more sense on the, Meyer side of things without the mirror, but you may have to go through Meyer. We don't yet know whether our access to the flippers is going to be via the book or via flute plus mitts plus mirror.
Yeah, that whole awkward Meyer routing. So, okay, all can be assured, since I did not call that net properly, I do not have advanced knowledge of the spoiler of this seed.
Now, of course, since we haven't seen the Dark World yet, we don't even know if those flippers or fire rod are going to be required at all.
That is a peculiarly valid point.
Like, between the hammer and the bow and the lamp, we have full logical access to Pod once we get to the Dark World.
The weirdest thing, you can wrap your head around this, the pedestal goal. It is possible, didn't happen today, but it is possible to not even need a fire source.
It's possible to not even need the hammer, depending.
Jocelyn finally over in the hype cave. Probably gonna have eyes bugging out of their sockets to see what's in here.
And Dazed Cloud is going to get his Master Sword very shortly.
Mind Demon's probably about now halfway up on his way to see the wizard. The wonderful, wonderful wizard of Ugh.
And it's a good thing he found that fire rod, because he's the only one of our runners who's going to be doing this climb with a fighter sword.
Yeah. Fighter sword, even master sword slashes, and those gold ball and chain guards at the beginning of Aga Tower. Not fun.
Okay, what's Lumaga doing now? I would have thought, especially with all these items that he'd got, he would have just done Aga 1, but I guess he wants to do those 2 checks we discussed in
Get those
CAC.
fetch quests out of the way.
Meanwhile, my DM is about up to Aga 1, so we have a little game. Chat's already putting in a few numbers.
15.
How many blue balls do you You're going straight for 15, I should have figured. I'm going to be nice and say 2.
I mean, the seed has been so nice, it's got to reverse at some point, right? Why not now?
And what's on the bat? Just a little love. I didn't even see what Sick
where the
Kid.
seed was turning.
I didn't see what Sick Kid had, but I assume it's nothing important.
Nah, nothing lit up on the tracker, so I would assume the same. And there's our first blue ball.
right before the first lightning.
Jocelyn gets the unfortunate news.
There's number 2 for blue balls.
Lumaga, meanwhile, about to begin the climb, is number 3.
And that's going to be our last one because it's a guaranteed energy ball after the second lightning.
So the number of blue balls is 3. No more, no less.
Congratulations, Ilharm9 and Puppet Master Z for correctly anticipating that we would see our average number.
Okay, what do we got on the pyramid today? Bottle number 2. So you've got a bee and a fairy now. Did we see a Dark World map check yet? I don't think we have.
No. I guess he decided, I'm just gonna get the Moon Pearl first. I don't blame him.
Not at all.
And Lumaga's already about halfway up the tower here, as Dazed Cloud enters it.
Jocelyn's dashing up towards the castle.
Yeah, that was some very nice spin/strats by Dazed Cloud in the first room.
So at about 21 and a half minutes, our first runner has Dark World access. And 1/3 pendant gold. This might actually be a fast seed after all.
Yeah, and there's no actual requirement to get that Master Sword since we don't have to fight Ganon, so if Mind DM never goes to escape and can just get through this seed on the Fighter Sword, it'll save some time. They'll certainly have some more difficult battles.
Mm-hmm. But in theory, at minimum, it's only 2 more bosses. So are those bosses going to be ones where having that upgraded sword is going to be useful? Makes you wonder.
I mean, you can always do hammer strats on most of them. If it's something like Argus or Trinex, though, that can be a lot of menuing.
Everybody loves a good menu boss. Except when you're a runner. But the Mug is going to have to be a little careful at 1 heart heading into the Aga 1 fight.
Yeah, you can't swing your sword at spin speed, and you need your sword to get through those curtains, and
Uh-oh.
oh boy. Poor Lumaga! Just outwitted himself.
And here he goes again.
Yeah, Dazed Cloud showing us that you just press A again to kill your spin speed, and then you can swing your sword.
Instead, it was curtains for that attempt.
So, has Mind DM even checked the Dark World map, or is he just going straight to Pod because it's there?
Just go into the Mullet Mansion.
I mean, if we didn't have the hammer and the hook shot, it would be like the only thing, but I'm surprised that he didn't even bother checking the map. Does he not realize with hammer and hook shot? Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh! It is a pendant. And Thieves Town.
We are in go mode.
We're in
That is 100%
We're
go
in
mode.
We're in go mode under a half hour. Don't blink or you'll miss the seed, folks. We didn't get Noops All Dodges. We got an oddly convenient Aga. And there's the lift. So I had a non-pedestal goal back when I was a first-time featured runner in 2017. And I had my
like
first
version
love
25 or something?
I forfeited that thing. I'm still haunted by that glove to this day. Summon alert Jet, we found his seed.
So the question is, at what point were we in go mode? A while ago already. We just needed to check the Dark World map to know it for sure.
Aga was go. Moon Pearl go mode.
And Jossum Sauce getting the good news. So it looks like, assuming Mind DM can do Pod and Thieves Town on a fighter sword, he may well finish first of our featured runners simply for not doing Escape.
Yep, you got Hammer and Bow for Helma, Hammer for Blind. That's pretty straightforward. Much better than a Samaria Blind option.
Dazed Cloud also finding out the news. And poor Lumaga, who's now climbed Aga Tower twice, is finally on the battle.
Jossum enters go mode, picking up that.
Now the question is, can Dazed Cloud, who is a very experienced runner with some really good execution, catch up to Mind DM just on the basis of better execution, or is... and a Master Sword, I should add.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or is Mind DM's lead insurmountable? I mean, he knows he's in go mode. He's not bothering with the back of pod. He's going straight for Helma now.
Big key, small key, you're good to go to Helma. No need to worry about soft locks today. And this key layout made it almost, I would say, almost the fastest pod you could possibly have. You were forced to go through the Bowlock side, and you just got everything you needed there. Didn't even have to go like the big key chest. Didn't even have to go to the back. The businessman in the front didn't even need to go to the party.
And Thieves, I mean, there's almost no difference between go mode Thieves and full clear Thieves anyway. So I don't see routing really being a thing there.
The only thing maybe of worry is perhaps low health, but looking at where Dazed Cloud is, that's not even an issue.
Well, and they have a fairy in a bottle.
Yep, 7 hearts, and you're refilling all 7 with the fairy. And, I mean, you could, in theory, trade out perhaps that bee for something from a witch, but that's going to be a major time sink going out of the way without a new flute.
It's not super far out of the way because you do have to go up that way to hookshot across the river. That is our only access to the Village of Outcasts area.
And then you conveniently get to the witch without a mirror?
Oh, right. We never did find that mirror. So many items.
This seed was so... Oh no, Mind DM!
Good thing he has that fairy.
The fairy on the previous boss. I was about to say, this is one of those seeds where even if I were a runner and I finished this thing, I'd be curious to go back and find out where the heck everything else was.
Yeah. So what do you think? Maybe 40-minute finishing times?
I would say 37 to 43. I'll give it that window.
Yeah. If the mirror shows up in Thieves Town, it'll be really quick because then they can just mirror as soon as they get out.
And even if not, save and quit without a mirror, it sends you to Light World, you'll go Sanctuary, and you'll just dash over. And the other option here, besides what MindDM is doing, is save and quit from Pod. Perhaps walk over to the western portal, since you have that hammer, and a glove.
Oh, we have the
You can
glove
access
now.
that portal now.
That is also true. Yeah, save and quit to Sank is probably a little bit faster.
So Days Cloud might save some time that way in overworld route.
And Days Cloud is a pretty heads-up player. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does that.
I've seen Days Cloud run some pretty nasty seeds.
I mean, he's a big cross keys player, and anyone who's that good at cross keys, you just figure that they're on top of everything else.
I know myself personally being involved in the Plando communities, I've seen Days Cloud run a few of those kind of seeds too, and they can get kind of out there in unusual territory also.
But MindDM is already in Thieves Town. Let's see if Dazed Cloud does save and quit to Sank. And Jossum Sauce is also on the Helma battle. He is not very far behind Dazed Cloud at all.
No, just third place so far of our featured runners, just by a boss fight.
And Lumaga would be right up there with them, except for that unfortunate,
Agate Tower incident.
Yeah.
Take a look over in the timing site, and nobody's finished yet. So we do have a small pool of runners that are not featured as well.
Yeah, we've got 13 runners today, so a good number of them off cam.
So MindDM up in the attic.
Wow, yeah, that I didn't even see it, but that big key must have been pretty quick if he's already in the attic.
Well, there's only 4 locations it can be in. Oh, it's in the first chest. Thanks, Alan. And all I will say at this point is the first overall finisher was not one of our featured. Give you the details on that.
Wow.
Once we get to that point. And I wish I was running this. I'd set a new PB.
So MindDM is rescuing Blindet here, while Dazed Cloud is about to go through the Hellway.
This seed reminds me of a good movie from the 80s. See if you get this reference. This seed moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
I know that quote that you're riffing on, and I forget what it's from.
Anybody? Blind's pun being crushed by objects so depressing.
Ooh, but Mind DM is off script. And
But
down
he's
to
got a
2
cape.
hearts.
That's safety.
Indeed, but he does not have a fairy, and he is on his final heart now.
Yeah, but Blind doesn't care about sword levels. So maybe that Master Sword is indeed a moot point.
Yeah. And he gets blind right before he runs out of magic. Nice job.
Just shy of 35 minutes. And in case you are wondering, timing for Pedestal Seed, you hit stop right when you start the poll, because that is your last input.
Lumaga was actually checking up on that right before the race just to make sure.
Yeah, there was a little conversation between the runners before we started. Not every day you get a pedestal race.
Though there is an NMG pedestal mode where in NMG you go until you pull the Master Sword, and that's the mode. And I just checked, and that indeed stops timing when you hit A. So here goes Mind DM. And we are gonna see that Triforce come out of that pedestal in about 10 seconds. Maybe 15.
Mind DM's on the ped screen. Days Cloud takes down Blind. Justin's about to rescue the maiden. Maga on the helmet.
And Mind DM records an official race time GG time of 36:28, which is first on our restream and actually 5th among all the runners, just sniped by 6 seconds for 4th place by Sanders 316. So GG to both of them. Dazed Cloud soon behind.
DJ Darkwing D that took the cake on this one with that 33-44. My goodness.
Yeah, I think at this point we'll just, Dazed Cloud and Jossum Sauce are so close behind, I think we'll just wait and interview the 3 of them at once.
Yeah, because wow.
So Jossum Sauce takes down Blind. Dazed Cloud has Ped incoming in about 5.
So, Drosy, congratulations on your commentary PB, probably from this
Yeah, I don't think I've ever calmed this short a seed before. Dazed Cloud finishes 2nd on our restream and 6th overall, 37:38, a minute 10 behind Mind DM, and GG to him. GG to our overall winner, DJ Darkwing D, who finished at 33:44.
Yep. Shoot Funk over in the chat wondering, yeah, Pedestal is one of the goals you can set in the randomizer. Get 3 pennants, pull a ped, maybe detour for an egg on the way if you have to, as we had to here.
Okay, so we've got...
Maga and Jossum are literally racing the victory lap.
Yep, and we've got...
Sorry, nope, Lumaga.
Well, no, Lumaga still has to do Thieves, but yeah, Jossum is on the victory lap, and as soon as he finishes, we will talk with 3 of our runners. We already have Mind DM and Dazed Cloud waiting here.
Just initiates the poll. 7th official time of 38:52. So weird saying times that are under an hour.
Yeah, this was just great. And we have Mind DM and Dazed Cloud in here. GG's to both of you.
Hey, GG's there, bud.
So who PB'd on this?
Oh, I didn't.
I mean,
I made a boo boo at one point, but other than that, pretty good.
Which boo was that?
Just kind of not checking just kind of deciding to not rush Aga.
Oh, yeah. That's
About that jawbreaker.
That was a pretty easy choice to rush Aga, I thought, especially after I sequence broke the fire rod off the hobo. Gives you firepower to get through the harder rooms of the climb.
So those flippers were over on Desert Ledge. Unfortunately, we don't know what the logic was to get to them.
Unlikely to be found.
Yeah, my kind of thing is I didn't really want to break logic too much until I knew whether or not this was going to be necessary. But so I didn't go up to Hobo. I did check Waterfall and the other one and the ledge there. But other than that, it was just kind of like, the only thing that I can kind of kick myself for is not going there earlier, because there was a good, at least a good 4 or 5 minutes where I could have cut that off pretty easily, because I ended up coming back and checking Bottle Vendor and Magic Bat and stuff like that.
No fetch quests.
Yeah, I did those checks as well.
Right, yeah. But not doing escape really was what made the difference for you.
I mean, Master Sword's nice. Don't need it as gold, but it's nice.
Yeah,
except when
nice
blind doesn't matter what sword you have because he's a pendant dungeon.
I will tell you guys, my heart rate was probably the highest it's been all day when I took that death to Helmasaur and had already put the fairy in the bottle out of my mind. Alright, well, there goes that run. I'm last on the restream, and then the fairy pops up and I'm like, alright, well, let's salvage this with a hammer hit really quick.
We knew you had a fairy. It was a bit more worrisome when you got outstripped with blind, though, and you then didn't have the fairy.
Yeah, but you got a cape, so you got a little bit of a safety net there, thankfully. It wasn't like the only weapon you had against blind was Samaria or something like that.
Samaria blind is kind of fun. I don't know that I would really care to do it in a race setting.
Speaking of blind, there goes blind on Lumaga's side. So he just needs to save and quit and rush ped now. So yeah, what were you guys thinking when you saw the Dark World map when you did your map check when you got there?
Well, I pulled the oops and just, did my Aga, went and got my Pearl, did the couple of checks in the village, and then headed right back over to Pod, not even thinking about it. And then I pulled up my map as soon as I'd turned Kiki, and I thought, oh, well, I'm glad that was a pendant.
Hey, and we have Jossum Sauce in here too, by the way. GG.
Good game, Jossum.
Hi. That was very refreshing.
So after one of those scenes, it's like, what do I do with the rest of my night?
That's right.
Or a day cut, I guess, for you being in another continent. What do you do with the rest of your day?
Well, there's an open seat starting in about 10 minutes.
There you go.
Hey, that's great. Fast enough, you can still do ladder.
Yeah, maybe if I feel like it, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of sitting here. Like when I opened my my thing, opened my map and I saw the pendants, and I saw that what was it? That it was Pod and Thieves, and I went, oh, I'm in go mode. Oh, I made terrible decisions.
Right.
So Lumaga number 9 official time 43:35.
And wow, he just got in there because 3 more runners finished within half a minute after him.
10th and 11th were separated by 1 second.
The snipe to end all snipes.
Yeah. So with that, we'll drag Lumaga up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So the gang's all here. Fastest Aga seat ever?
Pretty close to it, anyway.
That's just double Agassiz ever.
Yeah, Jossum Sauce, it was kind of funny. Like, your other three fellow restreamed runners all went to Uncle immediately out of the gate and got their boots. And so when you got the boots, I was like, finally! And then I was like, well, wait a minute, we're still not even 12 minutes in.
So a friend of mine and I, we had this idea of like, okay, well, we leave Saha open all the time. Let's just, if we ever get bombs in Link's house, we'll go right to Saha and see what happens. This is probably the worst seed for that strat.
Womp, womp. Yeah.
And I always do Uncle otherwise.
Oh,
So
well.
that strat is not paying off. That's for sure.
Yep, rando gonna rando. There will be seeds where that will absolutely pay off.
Mhm. The one seed you go and check Agahnim, it's not worth it. One seed
That's
you
right.
don't check Agahnim, you're kicking yourself for an hour afterward.
It's also
Because
the
you've
seed that I
last
get.
locationed. Go ahead.
Exactly. It's the seed that I get Bombos and Fire Rod that I don't need them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does it feel when Aga is go mode? Just let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah, I got into the Dark World, and when I finally did the map check, I realized, oh, alright, I'm in go mode already.
I mean, Josh, that's pretty much what you said when you saw that map on the restreams. Like, that's go mode. Like,
Yeah.
what? That's go? What?
It takes you a moment to process it.
Yeah.
You know?
It really does. I looked at them and I'm like, wait, I have all those items. I have a sword, I've got the bow and the hammer and the lamp if I needed it. Let's go. It's go
So
mode.
how often does this crew that we have here run Pedestal as a goal? Is this something
Once
you
in a blue moon.
practice?
This is my second time
maybe,
doing it.
Yeah, maybe once a month tops.
At least
I feel like-
intentionally, not mystery mode. At least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like most of the time, if you see a ped goal, it's in a mystery seed.
In my case, it's probably A, whenever it shows up as the daily challenge, and B, when I feel like doing the daily challenge, which is not all the time.
I'm regretting choosing to commentate and not run this race.
I would like to point something out. There are 7 checks in Escape. Dave's Cloud and Jossum Sauce have a collection rate exactly 7 higher than mine DM. Imagine that.
I wonder.
I wonder where those 2 minutes came from.
Right.
And you know where Darkwing's save time was? 51 checks instead of 53. So 2 things were skipped.
So
Maybe
I'm
they
guessing
didn't
that
do the... Sorry,
Magic
go ahead.
Matt and the Sick Kid.
That's what I'm guessing.
It's probably at fetch quests.
So Lumaga, I guess we have to ask you about what happened with the curtains.
What happened? Because no. Apparently, you shouldn't do spin speed for Aga and show off there.
Well, but usually you can still cancel the spin speed, so I'm wondering if that was like the glitched.
Well, I thought that taking damage was gonna reset it or cancel it, and that's why I set a bomb. But even then, I couldn't swing my sword, so I'm not sure.
Did you hit A at any point?
Maybe.
The world may never know.
Dave's Cloud definitely can't.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta
his
tap
spin
A
speed.
to.
I noticed since he got there.
Yeah, sorry. If you tap A, you'll cancel your dash there. But yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something. And it sounds like most people checked Aga, so they knew they were in go mode. I went there only when I had nothing left, and then was hoping for progression on Agahnim and Pyramid. Well, there was nothing in either spot, so thankfully the Dark World was pretty much a gift. The 2 dungeons you had access to were the ones you needed.
Yeah, once I had the boots, or once I checked the Bonk Rocks, then I went to check Lumberjack, and that showed the pearls. So that's how I knew it was Aga.
Yeah, the seed didn't leave you a lot of places where you could go hunting red herrings, even based on the items you had before go mode. Which is the strangest thing, because it was throwing stuff so early, but it was the stuff that pointed you in an independent direction.
Yeah, I wasn't going to chase the sequence broken fire rod into Skullwoods anyway. But, when you have everything you need to do once you get into the dark world anyway, why would you?
I find it very interesting that you guys, charged your spin speed and decided to use it for hobo rather than for waterfall cave.
The lack of Moon Pearl.
That would do
So
it.
when you would have been stuck when you came back out, it still would have been 2 checks rather than 1.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in going up there yet. I was just like, I'm here, let's do this. And then I was going to move on to other things.
Okay,
This wasn't in my strat.
any of our runners ever got to the level of having Zora funds. Which that would make that a bit more lucrative than you getting 3 checks instead of 1. But apparently the lowest check rate that we're seeing, at least from the racers chat here, there was one runner who pulled a 47.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wonder
impressive.
what other 4 checks he skipped. Or they.
So there was nothing in South Shore at all, right? Moldorm had everything, but if they didn't go to Ice Rod, if they didn't do...
Yeah, it was just mini Moldorm. Everything else is a bust.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, and what do you know? Lumaga's collection rate is 60 as well. What a surprise.
yeah,
I would say... Oh, go ahead.
I was joking with my fellow commentator. I'm like, okay, this race could be really short or really long. And I've got a class to teach at 8 in the morning, so I'm actually going to get a full night of sleep tonight. Woohoo! Thank you, Seed Roller, for rolling a quick one that wasn't Oops All Dungeons tonight. Really appreciate that. But I think everything here about this seed that can be said can. Definitely watch back the VOD. I mean, it's not going to take you that long.
Double speed, even faster.
Yeah.
In and out in 15 minutes. There you go.
Yeah, double speed would double my box for sure, if not more. That was terrible.
And with that, the race is also now officially done, so... Jossie, how about you sign us out for the night?
Okay, yeah. No, this has been great. Thank you to our runners here for doing the restream tonight. Yeah, thank you, JTN 2002. It was fun having this nice, quick feed to come with you. Big shout outs to our trackers, Duo and Jinxie Girl, who, given how quickly all these items came up, they were just clicking away. And yeah, thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting these daily races, which are, it's a cool opportunity to see these crazy modes. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. So thanks again for watching.
Thank you all for the fun. Good night, everybody.